Hi, I'm glad to see you again today. In this episode, I'm going to talk about Dragon Ball Super because I just finished the show and I can't wait to give you my thoughts and at the end, as always, give you my rating. But before I get started, I would just take a second here and quickly say that I absolutely loved sitting down with my family almost every night for around half a year and watching the whole Dragon Ball anime, all 4 shows. And that was something really special. I really enjoyed this. I had a great time. It was awesome to introduce Dragon Ball to my daughter. It was awesome to rewatch older episodes with my wife. And also to finally watch the newer shows that I haven't watched before. But now that I finally have watched everything, I'm so excited to share with you what my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super are. So let's just dive into it. The big question, did I enjoy Dragon Ball Super? I absolutely love it. I adored it. It was so amazing. And let me ask you one question. How much should nostalgia influence your experience? This is something that I think about a lot for quite some time now because I've seen this all around me. I experienced it myself. And I'll ask you this question because I absolutely love the first Dragon Ball anime. I love Dragon Ball in general, but the first anime was always my favorite. And watching Dragon Ball Super, this question came up a lot because I loved it so much that throughout watching the show, I had so many moments where me and my wife were like, is this serious? Is this show maybe even better than the original? And now you probably will think, why? Why do you think that show is so great? So let's dive into that. The music was just amazing. I loved it. It was so versatile. You had so many different kind of genres. And it was fitting. You had epic tunes, humorous tunes, classic traditional tunes. You had awesome action that was underlined with great soundtracks. And it was really, really awesome. I loved that they had different kind of approaches. You had like bands rocking out, you had like orchestrated tracks, you had like digital electronic tracks, and that was really awesome. It felt homogeneous though, so it wasn't all over the place. There weren't any tracks that were repeating itself too much. Everything was fitting, and I love the soundtrack. So I think the soundtrack will be something that I will listen to a lot in the future now. And let's go over to the art style, and the art style I really, really liked as well. Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT were released in the span of 1 decade, from 1986 to 1996. And then we had an almost 20-year gap, and then came Dragon Ball Super. And the art style in the first 3 animes, you can see an evolution, but it's still the same approach. And you still have handmade, analog art with pen and paper, old school if you would say so. And Dragon Ball Super has a total new and fresh style, but without compromising the core look of Dragon Ball. So it looks amazing. You have colors that are popping, each and every transformation looks great. They add on a couple of digital effects here and there, which I normally don't like, but here everything again was homogeneous and it looked great and awesome and amazing. And I love the art style from start to finish. I love that they were kind of experimenting with kind of different sub-genres within the art style, like anime genres, different kind, and that was pretty awesome, and awesome hilarious moments there as well. And I loved the art style. It was great to look at. In the core, it kept the original feel and look of Dragon Ball, but it added so much new layers and so much new stuff. It was vibrant and colorful, and it was really nice to look at. Now let's go over to the story and then to the characters. The story was just amazing. We have 5 new sagas, and I loved each and every saga. Everything made sense, everything was so exciting. And like I said, I already know the original show and Dragon Ball Z. I know them really well, and I watched them a lot back then. And rewatching them with my daughter was awesome, but I knew all the twists and turns. But Dragon Ball Super, I didn't know anything about this. And there were so many twists and turns, so many cool new story elements. And again, this show had me on the edge of the seat. It was humorous. It was exciting and thrilling. You had great action. You had also adventure. And this is something I really love about this show, that the action and adventure were perfectly balanced. Because if you go back to the original Dragon Ball, it's more adventure. If you go to at least the second half of Dragon Ball Z, you have lots of action. But in Dragon Ball Super, through and through, it was a perfect balance between these two. And I really enjoyed that. Each and every saga was just amazing. I loved where they were taking characters. If you have the original Dragon Ball anime, it's earthbound, it plays on one planet, and at the end, you've kind of like a planetary event where the whole world, the whole planet is at stake. And then in Dragon Ball Z, they take it up one notch higher. You have not only the planet, but you have like solar systems and one whole galaxy. They go into space. That was pretty awesome. But in Dragon Ball Super, they take it even further. They go into a cosmic, galactic, multiversal or multi-dimensional event, and this is something really awesome. I had a blast because I'm a sucker for these kind of things, for sci-fi, for cosmic events, and Dragon Ball Super, that's one of the reasons why I love it so much, was just all in with that kind of stuff, and that's what I really loved about it. And character-wise, they took so many older characters that after Dragon Ball Z, at the end of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball GT, kind of felt stale, and they had still awesome moments in both shows, but they weren't taking these characters any further, and they did this in Dragon Ball Super. Some characters they gave so much humor where it was really deserved and where it was really needed, I think. But on other characters they gave more screen time again and gave them a little bit more to do again. Like for instance Muten Roshi, the turtle hermit, he had some parts here again, and not being just a pervert, old, grabby guy, but he also was like a mentor again and a fighter, and that was pretty awesome. The same goes for Krillin, for Tien, so many characters had some awesome screen time again, and funny moments as well as serious moments. Vegeta, they did an amazing job with him because he was one of the characters still having great moments at the end of Dragon Ball Z and GT, but again, he was always grumpy, he didn't have a lot of evolution going on. But in Dragon Ball Super, they gave him a family, they gave him a cause to fight for, they gave him lots of humorous moments which kinda loosened up his character a little bit and made it so awesome, hilarious and funny, and I really liked that. And now we come to two new characters that they introduced in Dragon Ball Super that I absolutely loved. It's Lord Beerus and Whis. These new characters are probably my favorite characters in all of Dragon Ball now, because they were, again, hilarious, funny, exciting. The way they were writing these new characters is just amazing. I mean, Dragon Ball Super was written by the original creator Akira Toriyama, and you really can see that and feel that watching Dragon Ball Super. It is a great continuation of Dragon Ball Z, and then Dragon Ball Super. After watching Dragon Ball GT, in our Dragon Ball GT episode, I said something like, for me it still is canon. Now that I have watched Dragon Ball Super, I would say it's Dragon Ball Z, and then Dragon Ball Super. Maybe GT is a parallel timeline somewhere, and I would like that actually, because I like GT. But for now, I think it's not really canon in that universe, in that timeline anymore. But I still like GT, and Dragon Ball Super, again, I loved it. I loved Whis and Lord Beerus, they were just amazing. I could talk for hours now, but I keep it fairly short here. So, to come back to my question, should nostalgia influence our experience? And again, the reason why I love Dragon Ball, the original show, of course, is because it is just a great show. It has a great concept, great characters, great stories. But also, it is nostalgic to me. I watched this back in the 90s when I was a teenager, and there was something really mystic about it and really atmospheric, and I still to this day love it so much. And it was my favorite show. But like I said, watching Dragon Ball Super, me and my wife had these moments, lots of moments, where we were like, is this serious right now? Is this true here? Could this be better than Dragon Ball? Because I never would have suspected that anything can even come close to Dragon Ball. But Dragon Ball Super had lots of moments where it came close. And here's my question. How should nostalgia influence my rating? It's hard, it's tough. I would say Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super for me are equally good now. Because I'm creating new nostalgic moments here. In 10 years, looking back to watching Dragon Ball Super with my daughter, my wife, I would say that was an awesome and amazing, magical time for me. And Dragon Ball Super, through and through, from start to finish, I loved it so much. I loved the characters, I loved the stories, I loved the new 5 sagas. First was the Battle of Gods saga, where they introduced Whis and Lord Beerus, and where they showed us, okay, there's more, there's something beyond a Kai or a Supreme Kai. And again, here's something that I loved about Dragon Ball Super. They took the power level series again. The power level made more sense again. And also, at the end of Dragon Ball Z and GT, the Kais kinda were just there and they didn't feel strong. But again, in Dragon Ball Super, they brought more Japanese traditional and martial arts traditional elements back. So a Supreme Kai is a deity. He's really strong and you should address him in an old-fashioned manner and with respect, and a destroyer is a god and he just can't destroy anything with a snap of his fingers and all that. And that was something that Dragon Ball Super brought back and emphasized on that, power levels as well. And there was almost Nothing that I didn't like about this show. The 5 sagas again, the 5 new sagas were awesome. The second saga was the Champa tournament, the Champa saga. That was pretty great, really exciting, really funny. The first 2 sagas were taken a bit more slowly, introducing stuff and building up stuff. And then you had like 2 bigger events. We see Future Trunks again and Black, this new villain. This was pretty awesome. And here's one of my minor things that I didn't like so much, or that it could have improved on, is that the Future Trunks saga at the end was a bit too long. They had like time travel and they did the same thing basically 3 times instead of just only once or twice. And that was kind of dragging a little bit at the end. Nothing bad or anything, but the same goes for the last saga, the Ultimate Universal Tournament. It was a bit dragging at the end. It was a bit long, and you had some fighters like this Love Galaxy was kind of a bit campy, a bit exaggerated, and slightly annoying here and there, but nothing bad. And as well, there was a new character that they introduced, or 2 new characters, Kale and Cauliflower, and they were awesome. We see female Saiyans. That was so cool to see, and they were really learning really fast on the fly, which we have seen with Son Goku or Son Gohan in the past as well. But at the same time, their power level didn't make any sense at the end anymore. They were just within a couple of episodes, they were fusing together. They're reaching Super Saiyan levels that other characters needed at least a whole saga for reaching that. And at the end, she kind of felt a little bit overpowered, and I didn't like her as much as at the beginning, because she was just a street fighter at the beginning, and at the end she was one of the most powerful warriors in Dragon Ball history. And that was something maybe they should have taken the character a bit earlier onto in the series and explored a little bit more and evolved this character a little bit more. It felt a little bit like a Deus Ex Machina, a little bit, but nothing bad. These are the only small little complaints I have. But other than that, again, I had a blast watching this. I never would have thought that something could come close to the original Dragon Ball show. And yeah, I'm really excited to finally have watched the entirety of Dragon Ball, all 4 shows. This was released within a span of 30 years, and this 20-year gap in between the first 3 shows and the new show now, I think it was needed, because it was so fresh, Dragon Ball Super. It had great new stories and characters to explore. It took us where it didn't take us before, and that was pretty exciting and awesome, and I love Dragon Ball Super. And yeah, for me, it is up with Dragon Ball. I would say it's a tie. If I would have to choose, my wife actually chose Dragon Ball Super. And I don't know. I mean, I'm really familiar with the original Dragon Ball, so maybe I have to watch Dragon Ball Super again in a couple of years. But yeah, I think I can't pick. I guess for now I would say they're equally good, and I love them. So I'll give Dragon Ball Super a 9.5 out of 10. I love this so much. And yeah, now I finally watched everything. What I really loved was the ending of Dragon Ball Z, because it's an open ending. Without giving any other informations, to don't spoil anything here. And I like that it was an open ending, because there's possibility for more now, which makes sense. You could still explore characters, you could still go even further, I think. And it's exciting. And after finishing the show, I found out that the Dragon Ball Super manga, which the show is based on, is still ongoing. And I was freaking out. I was like, wow, what? There's still stories to be told. There's still something, it's still ongoing, so we could get another anime. I definitely want to get my hands on the manga now and want to read it, because I've just seen some like concepts, some panels where you saw characters and how they evolved, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. I want to read this. And yeah, so these are my thoughts on Dragon Ball Super. I had a blast and it was awesome. So thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next episode. Until then, take care. Bye bye.